Good morning, Sonia here from Sam and Sonia's Garden, giving you a little update on our garden. This today it's July 22nd, and I'm out. Just finished my morning walk. Sam and I did. He's heading back in for work in a bit, but I thought I'd just bring you out and give you a little tour and show you. I guess one thing is most significant that I want to show you. Our little onion bed where I transferred these onions this spring is doing okay, but I probably need to get in here and get some weed work done. Humphrey's looking great. This herb here is looking good. It's a weed, but it's also an herb, so I let it grow. Can't remember the name of it, but it's, coming on around. The strawberries have finished their journey for this season, and just getting a bit of grass in there, so I've got to get in there. And I do let the plantain grow in here. Some beautiful plantain grows in here, and you'll see it's gone to seed, and that's fine. Just got to get the grass out. It's not that much. You'll be fine. Coming on around, the lemongrass is doing great. It caught on, took off, and I'll have some lemongrass for this fall. Where I planted well, first this was not cardoon, but I did transplant a cardoon in here. And you see there is nothing happening in that soil. It's gone. It died. This is also where I planted the moringa seed. It died. So I don't know what the deal is. Neither one of those are anything I've ever really grown before. So my butterfly garden, my pea trellis, the squash bugs have been disrespectful. They have just, I assume it's the squash bugs, just destroyed this area over here. We still have some things producing. I didn't even know this melon was ready. And you see what we found this morning? One of our cantaloupes just completely obliterated. And it looks like it was ripe and delicious too. So anyways, that's what's happening over here. Not very happy about it, but we've still got food growing. You see the butternut squash there. The peas are putting on. Those are pink eye purple hull peas putting on. So Sam started picking some of those just last night. So they're looking really good. The cucumber, I think, has given us its last cucumber. It's time to rip that out. She's done. That watermelon plant is beginning to get bottom end rot. You see that those melons are looking a little deformed. But I'm going to let them go, whichever ones give us something will give us something. More butternut squash in here. These okra on this side are taking off. And I'll show you that this watermelon will probably come in. Well, it will come in with me this morning. When I go in, you'll see the tendril here has dried completely out. So that tells me that this if I can get this leaf out of the way, sorry for the camera. That this tendril being dried out like this tells me that this watermelon is ready. And that's been a really good way of knowing whether these melons are ready or not. But that goes in for breakfast this morning. And this one's almost ready, and I'll show you that tendril on it. Let's get in here. These vines look terrible. They're diseased, and I'm blaming it on the squash vine. The squash bugs and things. I don't know, but they look terrible. So if you'll see, let's see if I can get you in here. Maybe. Yeah, there's the tendril right here. Right there. There's that tendril, and it's almost completely dried. We'll leave it a little bit longer. But you can see the sweet potatoes that we planted together. They are growing in here. They don't look that great, but we'll see what happens. And I've got some okra in here too. There's the okra. but plenty of sweet potatoes just coming on down. This okra is beginning to put on blooms. And again, here's our sweet potatoes. Just coming on through. I'm thinking the watermelons that were here kind of got in the way of them really coming on like they would normally come on. But you can see the sweet potatoes are in there. You see, I'm not a stickler, a person that's going to rip out things very quickly. I like to just let it see what it's going to do. Coming on across our rattlesnake beans. Mostly I've picked them as small beans, snap beans, but I decided to give it a try and see what they're like as shelled beans. So you're seeing they're all in here, just all up this trellis. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then when you get in here, you can see they're just hanging. I think that's so pretty inside the trellis. Just gorgeous. Yeah. Isn't that gorgeous? So those are our rattlesnake beans doing what they do. The herb bed, the clary sage, I'm saving this particular plant for seed because I love the way it put out. The rosemary's doing great. I cut all the rest of the clary sage back, but it didn't care what it's doing. It's coming back out. I need to harvest some of this sage. I have been cooking with some, and it's really good. There's that. You see my peas coming on back there. These red beans that I got from Azure, let me show you. I've planted them twice, and this is all I got in this bed. So I don't know if the roly-polies are eating them up, but I don't see that they're really coming up very well. So I don't think that's a variety that will do well here. That end actually came in a little bit stronger. This end down here came in a little bit stronger, but still, we'll see what I get from them. And if they manage to put out a good bit of beans, I am going to save those beans for planting out in the garden. But there's the butterfly garden. It's looking cute. So it's facing my house, so it's nice to look out the window and be able to see that. I said I was going to cut down this Jerusalem artichoke. You see how tall it's gotten? I haven't cut it down yet to use it for mulch because I really don't eat the roots that are actually in the ground. These are our top pick purple whole peas, and they are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now, this is the part that's breaking my heart. Well, first of all, we got some watermelons and Athena melons in here. Sam put a little corn out here. We'll see what happens with that. Excuse my walking and trumping here. But these pumpkins, the mystery pumpkin / squash were pumpkins, they are done. I need to pull them out. But you see how terrible this looks over here? It's nothing but grass. The squash vine borers took me out over here. And now I have a pretty good infestation of those bugs in the whole garden. But this is where they started. I really didn't know what they were at first. I know what they are now. So any other year that I see them, I will know to deal with them quickly and not to tarry when it comes to those squash bugs, whatever they're called. But they really did a number on me. All of this was lush, beautiful plant here, and it's all dead. Just dead. I've still got some pumpkins out there. I've got plenty of pumpkins out there, thank God. But look over here. Let me show you. You see the squash bugs? They are just everywhere. Just everywhere. See, there's one right there. There's one right there. It's just terrible. So I've got to figure out how to get rid of them. I don't know what to do. But we got lots of pumpkins, thank God. We got white pumpkins, and I'm just calling them pumpkins. I guess that's the way pumpkins just grow and mature, starting out that different color, because at first I wasn't sure if it was a pumpkin or if it was a squash. But there they are, putting on under here. Now these are my butter beans. So they're not quite mature enough to be flowering like these top pick peas are. But they're here, and they're plentiful. And I've got melons growing down in between them. So you see, there are some, I think they're cantaloupe. And the other ones I just showed you were Athena melons. And that was a cantaloupe that volunteered over on the other side where the varmint's gotten it. So Sam's on the lookout trying to figure out what it was. Here are my Egyptian walking onions. I hope the grass hasn't smothered them out. You'll see on this side right here, I did get the grass out and I covered it with leaves, and there's grass beginning to peek back up. I need to get out here again. But on this side, I never got around to pulling the grass. So I don't know if by pulling the grass on this side, the sun is scorching them, or if it's the fact that there's so much grass on this side that the grass is, you know, smothering them out. I really don't know what's happening here, but they don't look that good. I'll do what I can for them, but I have another bed started, so hopefully that'll do fine. These are our purple sweet potatoes that we planted for the leaves. Of course, I will eat the tubers too. My family's not crazy about them, but I don't care. I like them. But the greens are good, and we've been eating on these some already. I started a few more of these purple sweet potatoes over in another bed, and I'll show you those. Now, these are some volunteer butter beans that Sam did not have the heart to turn under when we first started our garden because they were so far advanced. And we've eaten off these. He's been collecting beans off these, and we've had meals off these sparse little plants. Excuse me, and it's been nice. So he did a good job in not plowing them under. Look, so we've got beans before those other butter beans over there that I showed you, right in here. Before they're ready to put out yet, we're already eating butter beans. But I did plant some more over here, and you'll see they're not quite ready. They're not, of course they're not ready, but they're not coming up very well. So I don't know if I planted some duds of beans or what. You'll see there's more right there. Slowly, slowly coming up. Look at there. And some of them, that looks deformed. Right there, that looks deformed. Yeah. But anyways, this is kind of where we are. We've definitely been eating callaloo. And we learned that you can eat the tips of these squash plants. So this is a butternut squash plant. Doesn't look that healthy. The disrespectful bugs are over in there eating them up, the squash bugs. But we have been eating the tips of these squash plants, and they've been really, really good. So my okra is putting on. I collected my first okra for the season on yesterday, and you'll see there's a beautiful flower in there about to open, and plenty more, loads more coming on. And I don't know why the little black ants love okra so much, but they do. They don't seem to do any damage, but they do. Okay, so here's some more butter beans in here that I planted down through here. And you'll see they are coming up. They're coming on up, looking good. And there's one that was volunteered, and you see it's just full of flowers. Just full of flowers. Looking great. Looking great. Full of flowers and beans. Sam's picked a lot of these already. But you'll see there's plenty more coming on. Isn't that beautiful? Butter beans, butter beans. Love myself some butter beans. Makes me sing. All right, so and here we are, back around full circle. And here's one of those white pumpkins. I shared some of these pumpkins with my aunts this past weekend. These, I'm hoping these cucumbers take off. I was able to get Sam 2 straight neck yellow squash from these plants so far. They just don't look happy over here, and I'm pretty sure it's the squash bugs. But anyways, you do what you can do, right? So I'm going to tie them up some more and keep them moving upwards. And you see I've got the marigolds in there. But this is another vantage point of where the pumpkins are planted and how those bugs, squash bugs, have been just so disrespectful. Just so disrespectful. And here's something crawling up here, and I'll show you. Those are squash bug eggs right there. So I'm thinking this is probably part of the pumpkin crawling up this corn stalk. Yep. So that's that coming on around. You've seen the watermelons over here, and the other melons and squash all run together. But then the purple whole peas, looking great. And you see them just coming right along, looking good in there. Looking good. Yep. So yeah, this is what we're looking at. This is another butternut squash over here, and yes, the squash bugs have gotten it too. It's still got plenty of fruit on it, but those squash bugs, that's what they make me do. I've got to learn how to deal with them better. All right. This volunteer cantaloupe is putting on more. I've harvested 2 from it already. I'll show you. There's your little cantaloupe in there. You see it. Yep. Coming along nicely. But before I go over there, I'm going to show you this little piece. We started some purple sweet potatoes here. So these are purple sweet potatoes up until this stick right here. So from this stick with the red tag on it, that are purple sweet potatoes. All right, and from that red tag stick forward, all the rest of these are, at least the potatoes, are Beauregard sweet potatoes. And you see they're coming on. Now, so we planted these. Some of these had roots on them, some of them didn't. So what we did was we installed these holes, and we hung sheets over the top of them to protect them from the sun. Because I tried to put some, I did put some out here without the protection, and the sun was scorching them so bad. So I usually, every summer when I'm planting sweet potatoes this late in the season, I'll have to give them some protection for the first week. So I put this up for the first week, and after that first week, we decided to try and plant some purple whole peas out here. So I'm gonna say sometime last week, we planted these purple whole peas, and we had a lot of good rain. That was after we took the cover off the top of the sweet potatoes, and you can see the purple whole peas coming in quite nicely. It looks really good. So it's an experiment to see how they work together, and we'll find out. Now, I did plant some sunflowers there, and they look like they were all duds, so I'm going to put some more in there, some more seeds in there. So yeah, this is what it looks like, and the rest of this row will be planted out, and we'll move the poles down there and just start some more sweet potato slips. But I just had to wait until my slips grew. I didn't have enough slips to put them all in at the same time. And this will make for easier harvesting too, that some of them are planted on one date, some of them are planted later, so I'm not harvesting an exponential number of sweet potatoes at the same time. So it's nice to plant them in shifts like that. All right, so here's some of the callaloo and tomatoes and peppers and things like that that got put out late. I am so happy to say they're performing a lot better than I expected, a lot better. So this is one of those little tomatoes. I don't remember which one. I just stuck them all out here and said, well, when they start, if they produce, when they start producing, I'll know which type of tomato it was. These callaloo, I said I was going to cut out of here, but they've actually kind of been a shelter for these peppers and things like this, and kept the sun from just completely obliterating them. So I just cut the callaloo back here and there if I see they're obstructing too much sunlight. But they're actually, the bugs are eating them up for one thing, but they're actually acting as a good sun protection from for some of these tomatoes and things like that, peppers and what have you. So coming on down, again, this is just peppers, tomatoes, basil. I've got oregano in here. I was trying everything to keep the pest pressure down, but these bugs, let's see if I can get one in view for you. These little beetles right here, they don't care what's there. Actually, I've seen them on my basil plants. So I don't know if they were I don't think they were eating it, but they just hanging out on the basil plant. They don't care. Anyways, but I've got all these, who knows, these herbs might be helping deter something. I've got marigolds in here. You can see that marigold right there. Yep. And I've got to figure out what to do with all this basil because I'm cutting it back, and that stuff is Cadillacing. I just cut the whole top out of that basil plant, and look what it's doing at the bottom. It started putting out babies at the bottom. I was like, what did you do? Oh my goodness, what did you say? Or whatever. You see my tomato over here? It's trying to, I didn't stick it, I'm just letting it grow on the ground. It's trying to, I guess that must be a grape tomato putting out right there. This one's cute. I think that's Hungarian wax, sticking straight up in the air. It's cute. There's a cayenne right here. I can get still enough that you can see it. Yeah, that's a cayenne. So it's putting on, it's doing what it does. It's blooming. I collected a burgundy red over here, but it was very small. It wasn't like the big burgundy red I bought. Oh, and let me tell you, the army worms, these the black worms with the green stripe down the side, I found so many of those under this canopy right here that I've got, trying to keep the butterflies off of my callaloo, hoping that they would do well. Honey, you can see they are eating that callaloo up. But it's the army worms that I've done it. I harvested it yesterday, so it's been cut back. And I've got to get inside and finish. There's one right here. Let me show you. Hopefully you can see it through the netting. Can you see that army worm? They are awful. I'm gonna get in there and get it. I cannot let that go. So, oh gosh, I can't. I gotta finish the video, don't I? Okay, so I'm gonna finish the video and then come back out and get that because I can't. I killed so many yesterday of those army worms, you would not believe it. I was like, I need chickens. I can feed like 20 chickens with as many of these that I've killed. Anyway, of those army worms. I think that's what they're called. They're the black worms with the stripe down the side. I'll have to find a picture and put it on one of my posts for y'all. Anyways, these are my peppers. I have to always cover these. Last year I had my peppers up by the house and it killed the grass, but it was the perfect place for it, right there on the east side of the carport, because the carport shed enough shade, and then but I still wind up having to put a shade cloth over the top of them. Now I ordered some true shade cloth that Sam's gonna install for me, and it got here like this weekend, so he's supposed to be coming out putting these in. But anyway, let me show you my peppers. Here's where we are with these. The Creosella are doing well. I just harvested them yesterday. Sorry you didn't see that, but there's a Creosella that's all ripe. But honey, there's plenty more where that came from. Look at there. Creosella everywhere. Creosella are some really good producers. So I'm really impressed with what they are doing. My Hungarian yellow wax, I don't know if I did it a disservice by putting it on the front here where it gets more sun. So you see I dropped the shade down low to block the sun some more. But this is the Hungarian yellow wax, and looks like since I've dropped that shade, it's beginning to put on more flowers. It was just too much sun. And I've got a basil growing right up the center. It seems like the basil helps keep the predators at bay. I'm hoping it does. But these are my Creosella and my Hungarian yellow wax. Now here is what I really am excited about. These are my Lesia peppers. My Lesia are doing great. You'll see the peppers just braided inside of here. Isn't that gorgeous? They are just coming in. Look at there. There's one underneath here. They're coming in, and look how big that is. That's a Lesia pepper. And there, I did see one that's beginning to turn red. Look at there. And it's sticking straight up. That's the Lesia. So I'm very pleased with these. Something's eating this one, and I can't imagine. I haven't figured it out yet. I put some snail bait in here, because that's what it looks like, snails, I think. I got to get in here and look really well and see if I can find it. But this one's putting on as well. More Lesia. Lesia, I think I'm saying it right. Look at that cute little baby right here. Right here. Cute little baby. So coming on around. There's more Lesia. They're just all in here. And you see a sunspot where the sun has gotten it right there, but hopefully it'll recover just fine. I can't find the one that I saw that was trying to turn red. Hopefully nothing got in here and helped itself, but I thought I saw one that was trying to, I'll find it when I'm not filming. My cayenne is doing well. You see, I've got cayenne peppers coming on. Looking good. More cayenne over here. Yep. And I'm going to take you back across the yard. I've got some more peppers that I planted a few weeks ago. There's my fertilizers. Some more peppers that I planted a few weeks ago that are coming along. And I watered them yesterday, but I forgot to take them out of the water before the day ended. So they've been out here in the water all day long. And I hope they are okay. This is my first time coming to check on them. Oh, they look happy. They look happy. The sweet apple, what were they called? Sweet apple pepper. Let's see if y'all remember. They planted a sweet apple pepper. Sweet apple pepper, and the other one is called a blot. Yeah, the blot pepper. So they're all sitting in this water. Okay, and these are lemon. I think that's lemon. This is a grapefruit. That's lemon. All of these are lemons in these little cups. Of course, this is ginger. And my toothache plants. all of these need to come out of here. So that's what I'm going to do also when I get off this camera. But I've got so many greens to process in the house. Callaloo. I got through half of them last night, and it was like, it's bedtime. You got to go to bed. All right, one more thing I'm going to show you, and I'm going to end this garden tour. These are my sweet potato slips that are going out in the rest of that bed where I just planted peas. They are starting to be eaten by something too. Got some over here and right there. But my plums are doing so well. They've doubled in height. I've got to figure out how to protect them over the winter before I plant them. Probably will put them in the ground in January or February, something like that, when they start going dormant. I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out. It would be better if I can put them in the ground in March, maybe. I mean, in November or December. And that way I won't have to do so much protection over the winter. I don't know. I've got to figure it out. But anyway, here are the plums, and they are doing great. So great, to tell you the truth. I don't know what to do about this problem, okay? I'll tell you about it. I was about to water them in that container that I just showed you with my pepper, my new apple peppers and all that over there. Went to pick these plums up, and they are stuck to the ground. They rooted down into the ground here. So I don't know if yanking them up is a bad thing or not, but they're happy right now. They're so happy. They are doing really well. So anyways, oh, and a correction. This is the grapefruit. The other plant that I showed you was not a grapefruit. This is my grapefruit from the, just a grapefruit that we ate, and we saved the seeds and planted it. And this is what I got. So she's doing what she's doing. This papaya was an experiment. I was surprised that it came up, but it did. Okay, well, that's it for today. This is Sam and Sonia's garden. Don't have much else to show you. I told you at the beginning of the spring when I was harvesting oregano that it would fill back in, and it did. This stuff is so hardy. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed my little garden tour. I don't have anything else to show you other than my Spillantes, or what do you call them, my toothache plants growing with my basil here, looking good. So I've got those in 2 planters out here on the edge of the porch. That's it. That's all. This is Sonia saying I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Go out, get some fresh air, some sunshine, smile at someone, and just have a beautiful day. Talk to you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye.